Forever Youth Pastor, episode 7. This is a podcast about faith, love, and the power of compounding. And we're just going to talk about this stuff in its most honest, vulnerable ways that we possibly can. And so, the question that I have for all of you today in this episode, and by the way, this is going to be a fast one. How many of you would like to 10x your life? How many of you would like to be 10x more productive? How many of you would like to be 10x better at understanding who you are? How many of you would like to be 10x better at understanding your friends and how to best meet their needs and understand the life that they're experiencing? How many of you would like to 10x your ability to navigate and live your faith? And by faith I mean not just know a lot of stuff, but when actually you're going through something and you feel anxiety about it, what would it look like to actually apply faith to that? And so there is something that I've been doing every day, almost every day for 4 years that has absolutely transformed my life. And it's taken me 4 years to say, "Oh, no, this was good. I should recommend this to other people because this might be really good for them too." And so this one simple practice, one daily habit every day, I would just put out there that it might completely transform your life. And that one simple habit is to write every day. Take 5, 10, 15 minutes and write whatever thoughts are on your mind. Anything about anything. It doesn't even matter. Just write. And here's what I would say. Here's why it's a total game changer. Is in order to write things, you have to have stuff to say. And in order to have stuff to say, you have to be thinking about things. And in order to be thinking about things, you have to be curious about things. And in order to be curious about things, it's you are someone who's trying to learn and trying to discover the world. When there is a person right there in front of you, are you just quickly trying to come up with the next thing to say to them? Or are you trying to understand who they are and what they're going through? And are you trying to even better learn from them? And it's a curious person is one who thinks about things, and one who thinks about things has stuff to say, and someone who has stuff to say should write them down. Because once you write them down, it's like a second framing, a third framing of what is actually going on. It helps you to come up with a better articulation of what is actually true. And then after a year, you're going to have a lot that you've written, thoughts and thoughts, words. I've just printed out every year of stuff that I've written. In fact, that was 2004. I've got 2023 and 2022. I've now got 3 books full of thoughts that aren't meant for public consumption, although some of them may be someday. But they're just my words. They're just my thoughts. And here's one of the ways that it really 10x's my life is after every month I read back those thoughts. And so I can kind of chronicle the journey that I've been on, and I can see the ways in which I've fallen short. I can see the things that I keep stumbling in, and I can see the things and I've had some great victories and some great triumphs. And I can look back and say, "Hey Jeremy, you worried about that in the past." And there's a clear line of how God has helped you through these things, how other people even have helped you through these things. And so maybe you don't need to have that deep pit of anxiety about that going into the future. And then at the end of every year, I just print them out and then I read it. So there'll be 2 or 3 rereadings throughout the year of stuff that I wrote about, and you can just see, you can feel your journey through life. And it's like, you already know how hard this is because all of you are sitting there. If you've made it this far into this video, you're sitting there going, I'm not going to do that. And the question is, of course, why? The reason, of course, is that it's super hard. It causes you to like do things that are deeply uncomfortable. And it's like for me, and I don't know if this is an experience for many of you. Maybe many of you have been journaling, like people who journal your whole life. And so, like, this is just like a normal, like, practice that you've been doing forever. And you're like, of course, that's valuable. But for those of you who haven't, it's like the reason why you have this instinct not to do it right now is because it's so deeply hard. And we're entering into this new stage in like our lifetimes where words are just becoming actually a lot easier, where like computers are giving us words. And I would advocate that like that is all the more reason into the future for humans, for you, for me, for us to keep coming up with our own words, because words made by humans are just going to actually get harder and harder to come by. And they're actually going to feel more and more true as time goes by. And so I would advocate that you just become someone who writes about your thoughts, someone who like does a deep dive of introspection and say, hey, here's what's going on with me today. Today, I am feeling really happy about this. Today, I am feeling deeply sad about this. Today, I am grieving this. Today, I am anxious about this. Today, I am full of faith about this. And just write about it. 5 minutes, 7 minutes, 10 minutes, like whatever you want to give to it. Just write. And at the end of the year, like, here's the thing. If you do this for 365 days and you don't find that you're just like a different human, I will give you your money back. But if you do this, I'll actually pay to have your book printed. Like, you hit me up in 365 days, I'll pay for it. BarnesandNobles.com. You can just have this bound and you can have your own copy. And just imagine, like, here's the power of compounding. I've got 3 books, 3 years, 3 books, my journey, my story, my life, my words on paper. At the end of 10 years, I'm going to have 10 books. At the end of 20 years, I'm going to have like a bookshelf full of these things. At the end of my life, for better or worse, no one will ever wonder who was Jeremy Herr and what was he thinking. I don't know if that will be valuable to a lot of people, but the people that I love the most, I think that that will actually have some pretty cool value. And so, one habit every day, 10x your life. You decide, but it's super hard. And here's the thing about the power of compounding is that it only really works when you do hard things. Like getting rich quick, it's always a scam. It doesn't work. It never actually works, right? The power of compounding actually works with only like a lot of hard work and or a lot of time. And so like, go for it. Start today and just see what happens. Prove me wrong that it won't like drastically transform your life. And also, if you made it this far, you're a legend. And the word for the day is awesome. Because you all are awesome. If you made it this far and if you're the kind of person that's like, hey, I'm going to go for this, like you are awesome. And like put it in the comment section only because like it'll be fun. And it also like says like, yo, Jeremy, I'm like following along and this is cool. And so like, I'm just going to put that word there. And honestly, like vulnerability, full authenticity, it makes me feel good. Like it's really kind. Just put the word awesome in there. You are awesome. Peace out. Episode 7.